Welcome to the technical episode of AWS Cloud Adventures with PEAKDEFENCE. I'm Mohammad Sajid. I'm a Senior Solutions Architect at Amazon Web Services. And I'm delighted to have Roman, CEO and co-founder at PEAKDEFENCE.
Thank you, Mohammad.
Roman, everybody is talking about GenAI. And I know you have adopted a GenAI solution to increase your operational excellence. Can you please tell me more about this platform?
Absolutely. In information security, you normally focus on three aspects: people, processes, and technology. People and processes typically are quite slow and difficult to scale because it involves a lot of people, a lot of information, and understanding of the context. We've been doing this for quite some years, and with the GenAI becoming what it is today, we thought, why not try to finally scale that part, not by hiring more talent, which is difficult, but by using large language models for this. That's what we did last year by building a prototype, or an MVP as we call it, and we were surprised, I must admit, how well it performed in our context for what we needed to do.
You have implemented this solution on AWS. Can you please go through the design? How did you build it?
Sure. Let me start by answering why we decided to go this way. And the why is we manage or process a lot of information, which is often highly sensitive, entrusted to us by our customers. So security around information and flexibility were key drivers. With that in mind, we looked at a number of services that AWS and Amazon provides, and we decided to use Cognita for authorization, authentication. We used Fargate, AppSync, DynamoDB, a few other services. And then in the heart, or in the brain of it, if you will, we use a lot of step functions and Lambda functions that allow us to spin up and leverage AI when we need to give it a task or a series of tasks. So it's a very efficient way to give it an input, often massive amount of data, let it work, and return whatever we expect back. This way we can enable ourselves and our customers to make informed decisions much faster. Those decisions could be about threats, risks they face, and a lot of tenets of information security.
So in an AI solution, language models are like just a small part of the entire solution. I would like to know, how did you use SageMaker and Amazon Bedrock?
It's a really good question. With AI especially, you have to experiment a lot and all the time, I would say. So SageMaker is an awesome tool, an awesome framework that allowed us to do exactly that. The first prototype we built there, and it wasn't just a prototype using some synthetic made-up data. We were able to quickly use SageMaker on real data sets and got quite surprising results to see how well it all works. And then we took that conceptual thinking, and put it inside the architecture that I just described. So SageMaker is really a key tool for us that it wasn't just at the beginning. We are continue and will continue using it as far as I can see.
Right, so I see new models are popping up every other week, or every week, I would say. So I would like to know, which model did you use to make this solution?
We today, for the main core part, we rely on Amazon Bedrock, and we use Anthropic. In terms of model or models, the real answer is there are models, big and small, that are good for some tasks but not the others. And part of that flexibility that I mentioned at the beginning is also driven by that. We need to be able to plug in, maybe sometimes replace models, and sometimes use them in a sort of chain where this model does part of analysis and then hands on the output to the next model. So the core of it, like I said, we rely on Amazon Bedrock, which allows us to also process all this data securely with Anthropic. What the future looks like, I don't know. We're experimenting with new models every day.
Right. I think this is where the choice of foundation models through Amazon Bedrock comes very handy, I
That's
guess.
true.
That's great, Roman, but why AWS?
A couple of good reasons. I mentioned security and privacy. This is key for us. If we can't meet the requirements that customers place on us, we don't have a business. The second one, when you're building a new business, really, or software as a service platform, that's gonna mean a pivot for you. Speed and efficiency is also very important. With Amazon Bedrock, we got privacy and security. And being a security company, we took some time to evaluate other options as well. And with the rest of AWS platform and the services that you provide, we were able to get to the speed and to the velocity that we needed in building this.
Now I want to talk about challenges. Tell me, how easy was it for you to bring this idea to the market?
It's a good question, Mohammed. It never really easy, at least in my experience. But I'm surprised how this time around, many stars just aligned for us. I don't know if it's the sum of our previous experiences, if it's the right partnerships. I think it's part of it. We worked with an awesome company called Neuron Labs, which is one of your partners on this. Those guys really helped us along the way. Besides that, one of the biggest challenges is data, because without the right data in the right amount of data, getting somewhere with GenAI or large language models is very difficult. We're lucky because we have an existing business, thriving business, where customers trust us with their data. So for us, it was together with Neuron Labs, taking that data and transforming it into a useful format for the large language models, which we did rather well. The other challenge is, of course, learning and moving fast. When you're building a new thing, you have all your ideas. You think this is what customers want. Half, if not more, of that is not true. So being able to move and having flexibility to change, not just your thinking, but to change your setup, your platform, was key. And I just can repeat myself. This time around probably was, quote unquote, the easiest way for me to do it, or maybe the most fun.
Yeah, so implementing any right generative AI solution, I think data is the most important thing, especially the right data, as you mentioned. And I often say data is the asset. Models keep on changing. You will see new model every other day. So data is the thing that you have to focus on. Very interesting.
Yeah, in our case, data is queen, as we call it. And maybe one important point is data is what either slows you down when it's too much, and that's kind of a problem in the industry, because a lot of people, CISOs and other professionals, have to deal with a lot of data before they can make a decision. And that's the key value that PEAKDEFENCE provides. Using GenAI and large language models, we can go through large amount of data, and not just fast, but also at the right depth and at the right breadth, and then enable people to make strategic decisions without all this data overload. What used to take 4 days now takes 2-3 hours for us.
Amazing.
And that's not the end game. We're going to get even faster without sacrificing the quality.
I know you are working with a partner, but what are the next steps now, and how AWS can support you?
It's a really good question. Where's my shopping list now? As I mentioned, we started with people and processes, because that's where our expertise is, and it's also a part of the industry or concept in information security that others kind of don't focus as much. There's a lot of focus on technology, but we want to have complete coverage end to end. We're doing really good without bragging too much in people and processes. We want to integrate and close the gaps that others are not closing when it comes down to technology. So people, our customers that work with us, don't need to pay for multiple solutions or think about integrations. They can just use, I don't like the name, but one-stop shop in a way, or at least something that integrates with their existing tools. As a company, we want to keep innovating, especially in this space, because everything is changing so fast. So besides new features, besides building this end-to-end offering and platform, we want to optimize what we have in terms of cost. Cost efficiency is important for us. It's very important for our customers, and we want to pass it through. You guys are helping us with this, with your setup. Sustainability is important for me personally, for our company, I think for all of us living on this planet, and which drives the serverless thinking, and there's more and more things coming online from you that we want to look at and optimize this stack further, and in general have flexibility to innovate and try new things, keep improving. That's kind of in our DNA. Maybe many people say that, but that's what makes it fun for us. Keep coming back to the office and figuring out how to do something better than done it yesterday.
I see you have gained a lot of experience working with large language models, GenAI in general, and I would like to know what advice do you have for our customers, for our audience, people who are listening to us right now?
Oh, don't make me sound like a huge expert, but we did learn a few things, and we're really happy to share with everyone who is looking to do something in this space. First one is start small. Don't try to build the entire thing. First of all, you might not know exactly how. That's often the case. You might not even not know what you need to solve. So start small and iterate, experiment. Invest in data, whether it's in get the right data, but if you have the data, spend some time understanding it and working, and put the right governance and practices around this data. If you're using real data, it's really important that the data doesn't get out somewhere, because this whole AI space is still unknown and tricky. Don't try to do it alone. I mean, do parts that you can yourself, because that's where the energy comes, but then find the right partner that can make you go faster. Because if you will start getting bogged down and don't move fast enough, then you lose your energy. And finally, I mean, I love building things, but you have to focus on the real value, business value, user value, because otherwise, whatever you build is just not going to go anywhere. So just to sum up, don't do it alone, start small, make sure you're solving a real problem and you're creating value, and do it with the right people.
Time truly flies when we are having great conversations, Roman, and a huge thank you to you.
Thank you for having us, Mohammed.
And thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching this episode. Please don't forget to check out the business episode. Until next time, work hard, have fun, make history.